Hello bookish people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. In today's video I am picking up my December TBR. It is the last TBR video of 2024, the last month of reading for 2024, and I am so excited about the books I plan to read in December because although I'm going to be picking books based on those prompts, I do have an idea of what I want my TBR to look like, and specifically I have 6 books that must fit into these prompts somehow because they are my Christmas books, holiday books, and if I don't read them now, we're waiting a whole year to read them. So I am very excited to get through our TBR video. I do want to say, if my lips look red, I literally just lick them. If they look red or anything abnormal, my lips are chapped, okay? It's Florida and it has been cold. And when I mean cold, I mean it's like mid 60s, like maybe 71 degrees at the max in the middle of the day type of thing. And because I'm a Florida child, my lips have been chapped for like a week, and yeah, and I currently lost my chapstick. It is floating around somewhere in my house, can't find it. Now that that is out of the way, let me go get my prompts. We're gonna pick prompts and jam those Christmas books that I have into this TBR, and I am so excited to show you the Christmas books because I am just personally so excited to read them. I do want to say what's actually so upsetting is I just filmed this video like 20-30 minutes ago, and I put it on my computer to edit it, and there were technical difficulties and now I have to refilm it. But the prompts that I picked the first time around were so perfect, and I fit all of my Christmas TBR into like my TBR list through these prompts so perfectly, so it's so sad that I have to redo it. So hopefully we get the same amount of luck that I had the first time filming it. But I guess I didn't really have luck because the technical difficulties are leading me to filming it again. So yeah, prompt number 1, let's just get into it. Prompt number 1, what are we gonna pick? An author you've read before. Okay, so we're off to a good start already. I could definitely fit a bunch of my Christmas books into this. Well, actually, I could fit 3 of them into this. Which one are we going to do? I think what we're gonna do is this one, and that is Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. I read, which is right here, Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. I said it really fast and I mispronounced. Anyway, and I really liked that book. This book is a second chance Christmas romance. 2 exes coming together for the holidays. I guess forced proximity, forced to be together for the holidays, and I'm just very excited to read it. I really enjoyed the first series. I meant the first book in that, I forgot, Bright Falls, I think it's called, the Bright Falls series. I never continued on, but I wanted to, and I don't know why I didn't, but now we are going to continue on with the author with this Christmas book. It should be a really fun time and very excited to read this. Prompt number 2, what are we gonna get? A fantasy book. Perfect. A fantasy book. And for this one, I'm going to be picking Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. Why did that take me a second to like know her name? Because I have read the whole Carvel trilogy and loved it, which is why I bought this book. And yet it took me a minute to remember her name. Anyway, Stephanie Garber, Spectacular, a Carvel holiday novella. Honestly, when this was first announced, I was not planning on reading it. Even though I really enjoyed Carvel, I just was like, oh, okay, like whatever. I kind of like dismissed it, but then I saw it in Target. And then I opened it and I was like, oh, that's stunning. And then I opened it again and I was like, oh, that's even more stunning. And then I just kept opening it and it was just a beautiful book. And I was like, oh, okay, you're coming home with me. And then I really thought about it. I was like, okay, you love these characters, you love the whimsical, magical setting, and now picture all these things you loved about the trilogy, but now mixed with Christmas spirit. And I was like, okay, yes, I am sold, I am reading it. So I went from not caring about this book to now like, I cannot wait. I am counting down the days till I actually pick this up and read it because I feel like it's going to be a really fun holiday time. Honestly, I think the reason I haven't started reading my holiday books yet is because I've been a little lazy on decorating my house for Christmas, and I want to read my books in the Christmas spirit surrounded by all my Christmas decorations, which I'm going to be doing this week, which is after Thanksgiving, which might not be late to some people, but to me, I am usually decorating like after Halloween, like Christmas decorations up. I've been a little lazy and a little bit of procrastination has been happening. So once I decorate for Christmas, I cannot wait to get into my Christmas reads. Prompt number 3, let's get into it. we have Start a New Series. For this one, I will be picking When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. If I had to categorize the books that I'm thinking of for my TBR for this video, it is going to be Christmas books, obviously bet over that. But secondly, the other category of books that I will be selecting are Goodreads Choice Awards nominations. Goodreads Choice Awards just like released their nominations for the 2024 awards, and I realized there are a lot of books on those nominations that I was interested in and purchased but have not read yet. So seeing them on the nominations list has made me like re-inspired to read them. So this is one of them, When the Moon Hatched. This is a fantasy romance with dragons that has taken Book Talk Booktube by storm. And honestly, after Fourth Wing, I mean, I know Onyx Storm is like literally 2 months away, but I'm just craving a new dragon series. Prompt number 4, what are we gonna get? Romance. A romance book. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I have another Christmas romance on my TBR. And that is I'll Get Back to You by Becca Grishow. This is a, what's the trope of this romance? It is fake dating. It is fake dating. It is former classmates, which I think didn't really have anything to do with each other in school. They get reunited as adults and they get into fake dating, hometown scenario, Christmas, holiday vibes. It just seems really cute. I've never heard of this book before, but I saw it at Target and I was like, I want to read that. So I have another Christmas romance book on the TBR. I don't know what it is. Usually with romances, I don't really like to buy them physically, even though I do have a bunch of them right here. But I'm really an audiobook girl when it comes to romances, and I save my physical reading for fantasy books. But I have been in a weird mood lately where I want to physically read romance, which is strange for me, but we're gonna embrace it. Prompt number 5, let's see what we get. Continue a series. Continue a series. Perfect, because I have one book where I can continue a series, and that is also a Christmas book, and that is The Mistletoe Mystery by Nita Prose. This is a Maid novella. I read The Maid. I read The Mystery Guest. I love Nita Prose's writing. I love this cozy mystery series. I love Molly the Maid. Can I say more? This one I think is going to be a really fun and really short read, so I'm very excited to read this, and then I can't wait for the third like full book of the Maid series to come out in 2025. I eat up every bit of the series. Molly the Maid is just such an endearing, likable character, and if you haven't read the series, you should go do it. Prompt number 6, so what are we gonna get? Blue on a cover. Blue on the cover of the book. This is perfect because another one of my Christmas books has a blue cover, and that is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. What really sold me on this book is this is all I read. This is what I read and I was like, I'm sold. Get in my car. Come home with me. I must read you. Knives Out gets a rom-com twist in this rivals to lovers Christmas romance mystery. Obsessed. Anything that compares themselves to Knives Out, specifically books, it makes me want to read them, and so far I've had good success with that. Loved the movie, loved all the books that compared themselves to the movie, so hopefully this continues the trend and it turns out to be a good book. I think she is a cozy mystery writer. He is a mystery thriller author. They're in a hotel, a murder happens, and they investigate and they fall in love, and it sounds just like a cute, fun time, and it's going to be a quick, fast-paced read. Honestly, I loved this book. And this book is giving me similar vibes because this one was also compared to Knives Out, and that's really why what drew me to this book, because I want this book again, but now in holiday form. So we have this. Prompt number 7, let's get another good one. A long word title, 5+ words. Ooh, perfect. This one's 5+ words. That is How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. This is a historical, cozy mystery. I believe this book is about a girl who goes to a psychic, like in the 1800s, while she's at a fair or something. The psychic's like, ooh, you're gonna be murdered, you're gonna die, and she's like, what? And then she starts investigating who would want to kill her, and then she ends up dead, and then her best friend takes over the investigation and finds out who murdered her. But it's cozy and fun. So that is what I think it is about. And you know, it sounds like a fun time. I just love the idea of historical books, like historical mysteries to be specific. But I have never actually read one. And this is the one that really intrigued me enough to actually purchase it and end up on my physical TBR where I have to read it. But I've always just loved the idea of cozy, like historical mysteries, because I always feel like they have a cozy vibe to them. So yeah, very excited to read this one. I've seen a lot of booktubers that I enjoy read this book. I don't know what they seriously thought about it, because honestly, if I like a book enough to purchase it, I will not watch anybody's review of it until I read it, because if they have a negative review of it, it's going to like make me not want to read it. It's going to kind of like ruin my enthusiasm for the book. So I usually read it and then I'll go back and rewatch their videos. So I'm very excited to read this, because then once I read this, I have a whole bunch of booktube content to consume. Prompt number 8, let's get another good one. I feel like I always say the same things, but really, what can you say? Prompt number 8. An ebook you own. An ebook I own. You know what? We're gonna tweak it. We're gonna tweak it. Instead of an ebook I own, let's make it an audiobook I own. It's still digital. It's still a digital book, right? But it's just a digital book in the format of listening. So I actually have 2 that could work for this. But I guess we're gonna put the Christmas one on this TBR. And that is The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johansson. I got this last year for my December book of the month pick. It is just a really cool Nutcracker inspired fantasy book. I bought it because Christmas Nutcracker fantasy. It was December and it sat on my shelf and I didn't read it, and of course I wasn't going to read it throughout the year. This is a book you only read in December. But I did buy the audiobook during an Audible sale this year because I just need to fit this into December even if I don't get a chance to physically read it. So an audiobook I own is this book. So there we go. Prompt number 9 is what we're going into now. A book you own that is trending on Goodreads, which means I have to look at my phone for this one. So I have a feeling it's going to be this book, but I'm going to go check on my phone and make sure. But this is a book I want to read, and hopefully it is trending on Goodreads right now. Okay, I am literally shocked. This book is not trending on Goodreads, but it is on the most read books. So like on most read books, it's right here, but on trending, it's not here. So even though it is technically not trending on Goodreads, it is part of the most read books of the week, so I'm just gonna keep it in here, and that is The Women by Kristen Hanna. I'm so excited to read this book. I thrifted this book. This was a book I was not planning on buying a copy of because I bought it on Audible, and I'm really trying not to buy things that I'm gonna listen to via audio, but then I came across it in a thrift store, and I'm not gonna say no to a gorgeous edition of a book, even though this is the normal edition. The normal edition is gorgeous. Like, look at it, especially holiday. It's so Christmassy. I'm not gonna say no to a gorgeous edition of a book when I find it at a thrift store for $2. But I do own the Audible copy of it. I got that when it released because it is narrated by Julia Whelan, who is my favorite audiobook narrator. So I read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I really enjoyed it, so I'm very excited to read this one. I believe this one takes place during the Vietnam War, and it's about a woman who is a nurse that goes and helps in the war in nursing. I believe it has something to do with that, but I could be way off base with the historical time period, but I definitely know it's about a nurse in war. So there you go. And now we're moving on to the very last prompt, and honestly, I think I already fit all my Christmas books into this TBR, which is great. That is a winner for me. So let's go through and pick the last TBR, and I don't care what prompts I get because I can really put anything in here now that all my Christmas books have been added to the official TBR for December. So let's see what we get for this last one. Let's just get a really fun one, you know? Let's just get a fun one. Not that all of these haven't been fun. They have been. Standalone Fantasy. Standalone Fantasy, and I have the perfect book for this one. For this one, I am going to be picking a chunky book, an ambitious book, but it is a standalone fantasy, and that is The Bright Sword by Lev Grossman, and this is a King Arthur retelling story. I got this from Aardvark, and I don't know why, I was just really drawn to this book, but I was really debating it because it's a chunky book. But then I looked at the Goodreads reviews, and that's really what sold me on this story, and it just sounded so good, and I am so excited to read it. I would say out of all the books, this is the one that probably has the least chance of actually getting read, just because it is really big, and December is going to be a crazy hectic month. But nevertheless, I'm excited about it, so we're going to put it on my TBR, so it could be on top of my TBR cart, and it can stare at me and call to me throughout the month. This is one last look at my TBR for the month of December. I am so excited about all the books on here, and I really think that I could read a majority of these books. Usually my TBR videos are just for fun because I am a mood reader at heart, but all the Christmas books, like, they have no choice but getting read this month. or else I have to wait a whole year, and I don't want to do that. So I'm very confident and very excited about this TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
It was a long time from where we started, day to day. I had these feelings